Hello and welcome back to SF Giants recap. In today's live stream, I'm going to go over the Giants versus the Cardinals in today's game. The Giants, they cannot pull off the win, unfortunately. Just a lot of unfortunate hits. Austin Slater lost on the sun. Probably should have been caught. I feel like it wasn't that big of, um, like, yeah, it was a tough one. Something that probably should have been caught, but just a bunch of things that didn't go our way. And so that's what we'll go over in today's video. So make sure to subscribe and like if you do end up enjoying. And so we're going to pull up the screen right now to go over today's game. There were some good things, but most of it wasn't like the best of game. The Giants, they did get 8 hits, but couldn't score any runs. And Brandon Belt, he really lost out. We had bases loaded, 1 out, and bases loaded, 1 out. You've got to put it in the air. He probably should have walked either way because the 2 pitches he swung out, they were probably balls, and then he grounded into a double play to end that inning, and that was a crucial inning. It was the 6th or 7th, I think, and there was prime position to score some runs, and he screwed it up by grounding into a double play. Really should have been a big inning for the Giants and turned into nothing. Joey Bart today, guess what? No strikeouts. Can you guys believe that? I know it's pretty surprising, but he did get a walk and a hit today, so there's a plus. Unfortunate news: Mauricio Dubon is no longer with us. He's not dead, but he is traded to the Astros, unfortunately, for a catcher. His name's like Mike Pull. I forgot how to pronounce it, but I will find that. But yeah, just really should have been a more competitive game. No matter if we would have lost, it should have been a better game. Just a lot of not clutch hitting, and that's really been the key to this year. Is they really have lacked on the clutch hitting that last year brought, and if we can just get that going again, we'll be doing just fine. But like, we've had a lot of big innings lately, a lot of good wins, but today just not one of them. There, Jacob Junis, he started the game. He did allow 6 hits, 2 runs, but that's pretty good for Jacob Junis, who he's been dominant, but letting up 2 runs, that's like unlike him. But still, only 2 runs over 5 2/3 innings. Got 3 strikeouts. John Brebbia came in. He did a lot, 2 runs. I don't know if you call Slater an earned run. Like, it was up in the air, couldn't see it, lost it, and it just dropped down. And so the sun, he couldn't see it, and that was an unfortunate thing that happened. That also caused a couple runs. Camilo Duvall, he came in the 9th just to get some pitching time, and has done pretty well. He got a strikeout, didn't allow any hits or runs nor walks, and so if Camilo Duvall can be like that in tight situations, that would be a pretty clutch right there, and would really help us because the close games are what gets to us, and we really should have competed more in this game. The left on base, again, the Cardinals, they only left 9 on base. The Giants, they left 16. So they really got to pick up that slack of leaving guys on base. There's just too many of those that we really can't let go, like Brandon Belt. 4 guys on base. Those 3 of those were on base at once. And if he was just done a sac fly, hit it to the outfield, we know he can. He's in the big leagues. He can just pop one out to the outfield, and he can get a run in, and that would start something up. But instead, he grounds into a double play, and yeah, just really just not there, and not the baseball that the Giants should be playing. Lamont Wade Jr., he did get 2 hits, 2 solid hits today. Did strike out twice, but he's been doing really well. 353 on average, and he just barely came back in situation. And so we'll go over the Mauricio Dubon situation. Like I said, just trying to get that page pulled up right here. Let's see. I don't get this decision by Farhan in the front office because he was starting to get a step. He's starting to do good, and then we trade him for a minor league catcher, Michael Paprski, and he I this is like I saw this is probably a Bart trade because Bart has been really struggling, and we probably need some backup. And Kirk Sally, he is usually a backup, and he's been doing just fine, but he can't be catching every game, and we can't have to be relying on Kirk Sally. We need to be having Drew Bart come up in clutch situations. We need to have these guys who are gonna hit the ball well. We know he has power, but he hasn't really. It doesn't matter if you have power if you're striking out more than half the time. So he just got to work on putting bat on balls. Mauricio Dubon, I felt like he was getting his step, as I said already, and he's about to just take off and do really well, and then we trade him. So I didn't really understand the move that much, but I'm not the front office. Maybe this Michael Papritsky, or however you pronounce his name, maybe he turns out to be one of our better catchers in the near future, but we won't know. And hopefully Mauricio Dubon can do well for the Astros. In a different league now, but just unfortunate. I really liked him, fan favorite, as a lot of you guys probably know. Just a lot of questions that will be going into like the trade deadline, and as we move on into the long stretch of the season into July, June, all those competitive months where everything you start to see the difference between really good teams and really bad teams, and so there was just a questionable move. It may turn out to be great, but I feel like it'll probably not go our way. And so that's just my thoughts on the Mauricio Dubon trade. Uh, really thought that he would have stayed a Giant, done very well. But can't get everyone. And if only the roster was bigger. But again, Tommy LaStella will be coming up soon. I don't see Mauricio Dubon being much worse than Tommy LaStella. Tommy LaStella, have seen what he can do, but we've also seen what he can't do. He gets injured. He has struggled at the plate. He's not really good in clutch situations. He doesn't have a ton of power. Like, he can put a couple of balls over, but that's the same as Mauricio Dubon. And so and Mauricio Dubon is a younger, has a lot more potential than Tommy LaStella, and also is extremely athletic. And so I feel like this Mauricio Dubon trade, it was pretty questionable, and I also don't get why Farhan signed LaStella for 3 years and then signed like Discofani, Wood, all those guys back in the 2021 offseason to only 1 year. Really should have signed LaStella to 1 year, see how he did, and then you can extend him and go for it. And I feel like that was one of his mistakes, and I think that it'll come back and could hurt us, or it could be good. You never know, but this is just my prediction of that trade will hurt us more than it will help us. And Joey Bart really has got to start just hitting the ball. Like, it's one thing to be like getting weak contact. At least you're making contact. At least you're putting the ball in play. You're making things happen. You're making the defense work. And usually you're going to get out if you're just making weak contact, but you're seeing the ball. But when you're striking out, you're not seeing the ball. It's hard to even get a hit, because when you do make contact, it's probably not going to go far because you haven't been making contact. And so I just think that these things are really our big weaknesses. Our big strength, I will say, though, is the bullpen. The bullpen has been very, very good lately, and I've liked what I've seen between all of the bullpen pitchers, between John Brebbia, there's Camilo Duvall, Tyler Rogers. It was either going to be Dubon or Gonzalez. I prefer Gonzalez, who produces. Yeah, I agree that Gonzalez is better, but like, you have to look at it like, we couldn't get rid of LaStella, obviously. Getting rid of Bart would be very tough, and if we send him down, we can't send Dubon down, and we can't platoon Dubon anymore. And so I see the reason that Farhan did it, because Dubon, if we could platoon Dubon up and down between AAA and the majors, that'd be huge. That will be that'd be pretty big because then you can just get him reps in the minors, bring him up, and he probably produce well. But since he didn't have any options left, I struggle with the thought of him not being a Giant anymore. Um, Gonzalez, though, yes, as you point out, Luis Gonzalez. I don't think he played today, but he didn't play today. Well, he did have one at bat. He got a hit, and walked, and so he's been doing really well. Batting 339, has done like spectacular in situations where we need him to produce, and he's been doing very well. I don't know. Tomorrow's game, it's Carlos Rodon against Adam Wainwright. That should be a great pitching duel. And it's Sunday Night Baseball, so hopefully that'll be a fun game. Really hoping for another Giants win, and I mean, get back to the winning because we won 6 in a row, and that was really good. But Dubon was going to be DFA'd, but the injuries kept him on the roster. He definitely got caught a break when it came to the injuries because he was really lacking, and no one really wanted him on the team. But right as the injuries start coming, like right as the injured people start coming back, he starts doing good, which is the worst time to start doing good because then the Giants, they're put in a situation where they've got to go with guys like Longoria, Listella, these guys that have experience over Dubon, which has been shaky. And so glad he will be playing with the Astros and keep playing, but sad that he won't be on the Giants. But I feel like if the Giants can make a move in the trade deadline, let's say we have like above 500 record, we're doing just fine, and we need to make a move. I would say go after a catcher if we need it at the time. Go after another arm because the injuries have really been shaky, and go after a big bat because it's really been lacking on the like big power clutch situations. Our bats have been doing fine, but just in the clutch situations we've seen last year, we were clutch like all the time. This year, we're really not doing well, and so it's been quite the struggle. And so that will do it for today's live stream. Just want to go over today's game, Mauricio Dubon situation, and tomorrow's game. Hopefully, we can pull out a win. I will probably do a live stream because the ESPN highlights are harder to get, and so it'll probably be a live stream after the game. It will be later, and hopefully, I'll be in a good mood for the Giants getting a win. And so, thank you for watching, and please subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.